Have you ever wondered why in many parts of Africa, we have presidents and governors instead of the powerful kings and queens our ancestors had? Let's take a trip back in time and unpack how everything changed. Before the ships arrived on our shores, our societies were built around ancient traditions and powerful monarchies. Kings, obas, emirs, chiefs, they weren't just figureheads, they were the absolute heart of the community. They were the government, the high court, and the spiritual leader all rolled into one. Their authority came from lineage, from a direct line to the ancestors. The throne was passed down through inheritance, a sacred trust from one generation to the next. They commanded armies, they made laws, and they held the very fabric of their kingdoms together. This was the system for centuries. Then the colonial masters arrived. At first, they tried to work with the existing rulers, but they soon realized a fundamental clash. The kings were loyal to their people, not to a foreign crown. They resisted. They fought back to protect their land, their culture, and their sovereignty. Think of powerful figures like King Jaja of Opobo in Nigeria, or Queen Yaa Asantewaa of the Ashanti Empire in Ghana. They didn't just roll over. They led fierce resistance movements, fighting epic battles against a technologically superior force. But the colonial powers had a different strategy, one that was arguably more powerful than their guns. They knew that to truly control a people, you have to control how they think. So they introduced their own system of education. They built schools, but these schools didn't teach our local history or languages. They taught their history, their language, their religion, and their values. They created a new generation, an educated elite, who saw the traditional ways as primitive and the Western way as modern and civilized. This slowly but surely eroded the authority of the traditional kings from within. The young and ambitious no longer looked to the palace for power. They looked to the colonial administration. With the kings weakened and a new Western-educated class ready to take over, the final move was made. The colonial masters systematically dismantled the old monarchies. They exiled defiant kings, stripped others of their real power, and redrew the maps of Africa, lumping rival kingdoms together into new countries that served their own interests. And in place of the kings, they installed their own system. They created positions like governors, district commissioners, and eventually prime ministers and presidents. The ancient system of inheritance of sacred bloodlines was thrown out. It was replaced with politics. Power was no longer inherited. It was contested through elections. Elections often based on the very colonial structures they had created. So, from a system rooted in centuries of tradition and heritage, we were shifted to a system of Western-style politics. The powerful kings who once held absolute authority were either removed or reduced to ceremonial roles, their influence a shadow of what it once was. And that, in a nutshell, is the story of how colonial ambition fundamentally re-engineered the leadership of an entire continent, a change we still live with today. Subscribe and follow for more African stories.